everyone, it's Condor K. First off, no video on Friday. I don't know if anyone noticed, but that was kind of because I didn't actually get a chance to record any footage, which is actually a bad excuse, but I'll explain it more often, in much more detail in the description and so on. But that's just not really so important. Anyway, what is important is my Sonic Heroes non-review. Well, it's kind of important. It's important to me. And I had a long time just thinking up what I was going to say about it. And I pretty much had it all done like 2 days ago, and I was all ready to go. It's just I didn't have any footage, which is dumb because I had a week to get footage. I don't have to wait till Friday every week to do the footage. Oh well. Anyway, one more note. For some reason, the camera had issues with getting the first bit of footage. I'm not going to use that much of it because it looks bad. I don't know how it will translate over, but in my opinion, it looks bad. Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the non-review, and I'll see you after. Sonic Heroes. I remember getting this game. Actually, I don't remember when I got this game at all. But I actually thoroughly enjoyed it on my first go-through. And it was a really cool game at the time. But now, looking at it from a not so professional standpoint, compared to some other Sonic games that I played, it's probably not the best. And you'll see why. Now, I want to cover some of the things I don't like about Sonic Heroes first, before I go into the good stuff, because no one wants to leave on a sour note. Sonic Heroes, the first things that come to mind that I don't like about it is the stage length. Now, I know I talked about it during the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle non-review, but I just want to clarify this again. The stages are too long. Now, I recently went back to the game, obviously, for this non-review, and I've been playing it a bit, and I realized that all my times are way too long. There are these stages that I have like 3 to 5 minutes in, but then there's other ones that I have like 7 to 12 minutes in. And some of the Team Chaotix levels I have up to almost 40 minutes on those stages. Some people could say, hey, you're not good at the game, that's it, you're just not good at it. But, those were my first go-throughs of the stages, most of them. Especially the Team Chaotix ones, but I don't really think they should be that difficult, that they should take that long. I don't know what else to say, but that's just one complaint. Another one would be the homing attack doesn't really home all that well. After playing so much of Sonic Colors, when they come back to Sonic Heroes, the homing attack just isn't there. It works, but it just doesn't work too good. Especially when you consider that a lot of the bad guys take so long to kill. I know kind of the idea was to give you different types of bad guys to switch the characters, right? So that, like, for the ones with shields, you'll need Knuckles, and for some in the air, you'll need Tails. But do the bad guys really have to have so much HP to kill them? Having to home attack the flying enemies 3 times just to defeat them, it's kind of inconvenient. And that inconvenience grows when you have to fight bosses that have lots of HP and you have to just keep wailing on them. I went back to check on a few bosses and the times were actually a lot shorter than I thought they were. I remembered taking so long on those bosses the first time. I'm not really sure how I got a 1 minute on the Egg Hawk or how I got A's with almost everyone against the Egg Emperor, but apparently something worked and it worked well. And one last complaint that is completely irrelevant would be some of the automated moments in the game fail. Like, if you hit a spring with Sonic, he'll be sent to another spring, then another one, then another one, then he'll land on the stage and you'll keep going. Some automated sessions like that, for some reason, don't work. Just today, when I was recording footage for Sonic Heroes, I got on a spring that was supposed to send you back up higher to another section of level, and instead, for some reason, Sonic ran right past it, jumped up and kept going forward, and he went off the stage and into the ocean while still doing the running animation. And most famously, to me anyway, in one of the canyon levels, when you get shot out of a large cannon, you go through in between these 2 rock walls, and your team's supposed to right itself and land on the rail at the end, and then you keep grinding down, you continue low.
I can't count how many times my team missed the rail. They just did not get it. They missed and they fell and died, and I had to go through all that again. Even now, I mean, the only way I got through it was to use flying formation, so that if I did miss, I could fly back to it. I mean, the chances of it landing there on its own are just not that good. So, I mean, that's all the relevant complaints I have for the game at the moment. And, you know, it's not too bad. I mean, the rating system is kind of like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It's pretty strict. It's hard to get A's. At least it is to me, unless you like really try. And time trials are still pretty strict. I mean, I think the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle ones are much more strict, but it's really hard. It's like, don't mess up. Do your absolute best. You like maybe one or two mistakes, a little bit, but you can't really mess up too much. So that leads me to the good things about Sonic Heroes. The character roster. I actually like almost all the characters in this game. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are givens. Omega, he's awesome. I mean, he really needs more games than he has, and more recognition at the moment. E102, I loved him so much, but he was only in Sonic Adventure. So it's great to have E123. He's awesome. Rogue and Shadow are pretty cool. Although that's another little disappointing thing, that after the leave off of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, you don't really get much story development for Shadow in this game. It's like most of it is covered in Shadow the Hedgehog. I just would have liked to have more story in Sonic Heroes, which it's not quite there. The Team Chaotix guys, I love them. I actually think that they should have another game, the three of them. And maybe throw in Knuckles, you know, for old time's sake. I think that'd be pretty cool. The only characters I don't like are Cream and Amy. They annoy the living hell out of me. Especially Cream. The Team Rose levels killed me because her voice is so goddamn annoying. Oh my god, just remembering of those levels, I hated it. I just had to mute it. I feel sorry for Big, because I actually like Big. But, not Amy or Cream. They screw it up for me. You heard me mention the story, and the story is really kind of simple. They all are doing their own thing. Sonic's team is trying to stop Eggman, Shadow's team is trying to find the treasure that Rogue wants, and Shadow's trying to basically remember things, because, you know, no memory. And Omega just wants to destroy all the Eggman robots, you know, payback. Team Chaotix is doing a bunch of missions for a mystery client. And Team Rose, I actually cannot remember what they were doing. Oh, they were trying to locate the Cheese's Chow, Cream's Chow, and Froggy. Now I remember. The best part, I think, of the story is that Metal Sonic is actually the final villain. Now, Metal Sonic has not gotten much feature anywhere after Sonic CD, so it's really great to see him here. He might have appeared in some other places, I can't recall at the moment, but that's the only one where I can remember him. But this Metal Sonic looks just so much cooler. He has a completely revamped appearance, and while he doesn't use it too much and you don't get to fight him in that form, he does transform into a wicked awesome dragon thing, the Metal Overlord, which is awesome. It has one of the coolest themes to it out of practically all Sonic games I've played in a while, but they all have good music. I mean, just Crush 40. They do some really good job with all the songs that they're in charge of, and most of the time the other bands that are brought in to do one or two tracks for different games work too. Anyway, enough of the music. So yeah, that's the story pretty much. It's everybody doing their own thing, but in a way they all get to the final location, Eggman, only to be revealed that he wasn't the real threat at all. Anyway, now the game has a few other bonus features aside from the story, which include the replay mode, where you could just play a single act and try to do the bonus mission that each of the teams get, which are usually the same thing, you know, finishing it different ways maybe. Like Team Chaotix's bonus missions are just harder versions of their normal missions, and so on. It has a 2P versus mode, which you have to unlock the different modes as you go through the game and get more emblems. Now, I have not gotten all the emblems in this game. I have almost 90 out of, I think, like 120. That's it. So that means that I haven't unlocked the last two modes, but I game faxed it, and the last two modes aren't anything all that special. Like if you get up to the bobsled race, if you unlock that, that's pretty much all the variety you get. The last two are kind of just reversions of the action race, the first 2P versus mode. And that's about it. Aside from the story, the challenge, and the 2P versus, the only thing that you can unlock is the super hard mode, which I haven't gotten, because unlike the other things, you need all A ranks to get the super hard mode. You know, in my case, that's not going to happen. And I mean, I'm really not the kind of person who appreciates doing so much work for a game, and your prize is an even harder version of the game. That pissed me off with Donkey Kong Country Returns. Yeah. So all in all, Sonic Heroes can be summed up as a pretty good Sonic game. It does its job well, and while it has a few technical issues, it's still a good game and it passes. So how does it rate when you're talking about fun? Pretty good. Now maybe because I've done almost everything in the game, except unlock obviously the super hard mode and the other 2P versus modes, but I think I've lived out that game as much as I can, because when I was playing it around to test it and get back used to it so I can get some decent footage to show you guys, I got bored kind of quickly. So it's good for the moment, but once you kind of finish everything and maybe just check out a few of the bonus missions, and if you're really attached to it, you might be able to finish them all, get all 120 emblems. But I was just never had the patience to do that.
And there we go. So as you can see, Sonic Heroes was definitely not as, oh my gosh, I really like this game, as the last ones I did, which were almost completely, I liked everything about it, except for one or two things, and nitpicky details. But it's still a good game overall, I guess. Anyway, I just did 2 non-reviews in 2 weeks, kind of. This one was a day late. So I think I'm just going to go back to Otoku Talk next week, because we're going to be talking about Shinkenger. And the most important detail about Shinkenger was that it was thanks to that series that I got into Kamen Rider. And I'll explain all that next week. So until then, see you.